Alright guys, how y'all doing? Greetings from inside uh, um, the bottle of Sprite. Um, this is a fresh new bottle. I got this because truth is I'm probably going to have to stop, take a couple drinks here and there. Because I took notes about Mania and I didn't miss anything. And this might just be a long one, so um, here we go. And then at the end I'm going to sum this all up and give my general thoughts on just the show itself, and I'll give you kind of a grade or so, if that's what you want to call it. Even though I don't think that um, it should be a show that people should grade things. They should just watch it for the entertainment. But I'll do that anyway for if anybody cares. Um, so I'm gonna start with the stuff that happened in the pre-show, because um, I did watch the pre-show. Um, I got there about 15 or so minutes late, but it's okay. I didn't miss any of the pre-show matches or whatever, so um, everything is good. Um, so let's see. All right. The first match was Ryback and Kalisto for the U.S. title. Um, I thought that it was they told a good story, big man, little man, David and Goliath type stuff. Um, thought Kalisto's gear was on point. He of course wore um, late great Japanese Legend Hayabusa's colors to pay tribute. And anybody knows anything about me, they know I'm all about history. Um, So that was really awesome to see. Um, it was good opener for the show. Um, but honestly, I kind of felt like um, this match and the battle royal could have switched places. I would have liked to have seen this particular match on the um, main card, because I think um, both of those guys who earned that, um, especially Kalisto in the last few months, because um, he is being given the chance to show that he can carry a singles title on his own, and I was glad to see that he, um, stood up to that, and that he can actually is been able to show that he can actually carry a singles title and be a singles act on his own. Um, so that's the only real complaint I had about that. I thought that that match should have been on the main card. They could have switched that out with the battle royal, and but really I have no complaints about that, because it got Kalisto, I feel like, is his signature win as a U.S. champion. It's interesting to see where they go with him from here. Um, I hope they don't start jobbing him out like they do most of the U.S. and Intercontinental champions from the past, because I think this kid has what it takes to be um, um, the Latino star that the WWE has been looking for since the departure of Rey Mysterio Jr. You know, and I think he could be that star. Um, he's loaded with charisma, um, you know, and everybody likes, to see, you know, the underdog come out on top. So um, I really hope that this is the, you know, just the start of big things for him. Um, but given decisions? I don't know. So I guess we'll find out. Next, we had Team Total Divas with in a ring with Team Bad and Blonde. Now this match, it was fine for what it was. Um, I was kind of pissed that Eva got a Mania match while Asuka and Bayley wrestled Friday. Um, but I've kind of tooted that horn a little bit too much, so just gonna leave it there. I thought the match was fine. They gave the two least experienced um, women in the match the least to do. So I thought that was probably a good idea. You know, they weren't really heavily involved in the match, so that was awesome. Uh, you know, and I thought that the tribute to the Heart Foundation, um, Natty and Paige hitting the heart attack clothesline, was awesome. I'm a big Heart Foundation fan back in the day, and thought that was awesome to see. And let's see what else. Total Divas took the match, of course, and it was also good to see at the end of the match, Nikki came out. So I was glad to see her, get her moment on Mania. Even if it was the pre-show, I was, happy to see her get her moment because, let's face it, love her or hate her, she has busted her ass over the last 8 years to improve, and the improvement has shown. She's been the face of the division, and, good on you, Nikki. Let's see what else. Lita was teasing all through the pre-show and announcements, and she did not disappoint as she went into the ring and revealed a brand new WWE Women's Championship belt, which is awesome. It's basically the WWE's the World Heavyweight title on a white with white straps, which means the Divas title is dead. The Barbie belt is dead, and there is much rejoicing. So that's basically, I've been clamoring for that title to go away, as have most fans since, well, it came into existence. Next we had the Usos face the Dudleys. It was okay. I thought that the post-match was better than the the actual match itself. The Dudleys getting put through tables. I thought it was a nice little payoff for all the teasing they had done about we're not going to do tables, whatever, and I thought it was a nice little payoff. And then, again, people's gear being on point. I love the tribute to Umaga and Jay's trunks. Rest in peace. I thought it was awesome. And then we get to the main show. Now, I had a vague remembrance of Fifth Harmony because I used to watch the X Factor when it was on. But, but I thought they did an awesome job. They did an awesome job with the anthem, and it was awesome to see, all the stars and stuff they come out. They of course started with the seven-way ladder match, which everybody's gear was pretty much on point. I love Dolph's new um, American flag gear. Of course, I'm a sucker for anything that has the flag incorporated into it, so that shouldn't surprise anybody. Um, then I'm gonna quote Byron Saxton on this. What is the Miz wearing? I know, right? I don't know what the fuck that was, but it was it was definitely he could have made some better gear choices. Um, as far as I was concerned, but what what are you gonna do? Uh, again, Sin Cara in all white gear, and Ryder in the gear that he wore. Their gear games were on point. I was glad to see them be able to have chances to shine in this match. Um, you know, Stardust also, he came out wearing polka dotted gear as a tribute to his dad, the Dream, which which was awesome for me. I marked out like the 10-year-old that I was when he came into WWE. When Dusty did that, what that is. And then he pulled out. Well, how about that? Sorry, that little interlude was a alert coming into my phone that Todd Frazier just hit a 3-run home run for White Sox. So that explains it. Well, how about that? All right. Anyway, back to it. At one point in the match, Stardust pulled out a ladder, but it wasn't just a ladder. It was a ladder done in yellow polka dots. One of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life. Awesome. The match itself was your standard Mania clusterfuck. Honestly, going in and that was awesome for me because everything on Mania, you have a little bit of everything because they try to throw a little bit of everything on the greatest show of the year, which you know that fills that role of the clusterfuck. So that was awesome to see. And I admit, going into it, that I thought one of two things was going to happen. Either Kevin Owens was going to win, or Sami Zayn was going to win. I did not expect for Zack Ryder, as much as he was given the chance to shine in this match, to come away with the title. And he did it. And yes, I cried when he did. Because I relate to that boy. But I need to explain to you why he ain't been around but 5 minutes. So that was awesome to see. Then we had the New Day versus the League of Nations. The League of Nations ended up winning the match. And they changed it actually because it was advertised as a 4-on-3. But they made it a 6-man. So they changed it. But and it was okay for what it was. It was good. It wasn't bad. There wasn't anything that was really bad about this. I thought New Day's entrance was awesome. They came out of a big box of Mudio cereal, which was just popped me to no end. But then, can we just talk about Xavier's hair for a second. What the fuck, dude? I still don't know what that was. It kind of reminded me, I can't remember what pay-per-view it was, but I think it was one of the first pay-per-views after they really got over. He came out with a fucked up hairstyle. Um, there were memes of it for days and days afterwards. Kind of reminded me of that, but it's like kind of one of those what the fuck moments. But yeah, the match was good. It was okay. It was, you know, not really anything that would blow you away, but with 6 guys, you know, not really much you can do, especially when this is a feud that's been going on for a while. So, League of Nations wins, and yeah, it was good. At the end of this match, League of Nations got on the mic and said there weren't 3 guys that could stand up to them. Well, HBK's music hits, which was cool, which made me scream like a little girl. Then I realized, oh shit, he's got his gear on. Which, again, I screamed more like a little girl. Then Foley's music hits. He comes out, he's got his gear on. More of the same. Then, of course, you know, they're all in the ring saying, then Stone Cold's, he comes out in jeans and a t-shirt. They walk down there, they get in the ring, and, you know, League of Nations is like, you know, there's 4 of us, there's still 3 of you. And at this point, I'll be honest with y'all, I thought that The Rock's music was going to hit, and he was going to make it a 4-on-4, but that didn't happen. But Foley, Stone Cold, and HBK took care of the League of Nations, and I thought that Rusev sold the stunner really well. I haven't seen a wrestler sell a stunner like that since The Rock. Matter of fact, if you want to take notes on how to sell a stunner, Rock should teach a class. Just because he can sell a stunner like nobody's business. But Rusev sold it really well, which was awesome. And then, you know, after that was all done, you know, everybody was drinking and dancing and da-da-da. And, you know, that whole don't trust anybody. You know, X took a stunner, of course, from Stone Cold, which, to be honest with you, I thought, you know, the right guy of the group took a stunner. I don't think you would want to stun. I don't think you wanted to bury Kofi or Big E, because that's the, you know, those are the workhorses of the group. So the right guy took a stunner there, which was awesome to see. You know, nice little surprise there. Nobody knew it was going to happen. It wasn't reported. And then you had the Ambrose Lesnar street fight, which Lesnar wins, which we all pretty much knew was going to happen. But it was a good street fight. It was, you know, they used some toys and honestly, Ambrose took it to Lesnar like nobody I've ever seen. I think if they fought Street Fight Rules 10 times, Ambrose would probably take 2 of them. that's a lot better than most people would do. So, but honestly, the best part of the match for me was, he kept saying, he said, batter up. Dean said, batter up, bitch. And, um, kind of a play off of Brock's um, Suplex City bitch to Roman last year. Um, it was awesome. Um, you know, it's a street fight. It's whatever. It's intended to be a clusterfuck like that, so it was pretty good. The Snickers commercial with Flair, Ryder, and Charlotte was just awesome. you know, um, it was good for a laugh. I loved it that they were that Ryder got a lot of play on this Mania. He won his match, he shined in his match, and he got the Snickers commercial about midway through the show. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. But yeah, I just thought it was awesome that he got as much play as he did. Just because my love for him will never die. For reasons previously stated. That was awesome. Nice little laugh in the middle of the show. I also thought it was awesome that Snoop, you know, walked and sang Sasha to the ring. Um, you know, everybody had on point gear. Sasha was wearing a robe, or I'm sorry, Charlotte was wearing a robe that was made from pieces of the robe that Flair wore in 24, which at 24 when he did his retirement match, which really wasn't a retirement match. um, but so I thought that was pretty cool. And then Sasha was wearing tribute gear to Eddie Guerrero. It was the colors that Eddie wore when he won the undisputed title for the first time in 04, which was awesome for me. I thought the moonsault spot in the middle of the match was awesome to see, as well as I popped huge when Becky took out H, because I didn't think he could be a factor after that, but ultimately he ended up being a factor, and Charlotte wins, and originally I was mad about that. I thought that does nothing, but now that I think about it, the right person won, because when you are establishing a new title, when Charlotte loses this title, whether it be to Becky or to Sasha, I don't think she's gonna end up losing it to Natty. Much as I love Natty's ring work, I don't think she's gonna lose it to Natty. But whenever Charlotte does drop the title, it's gonna make it all that much more special. So I understand it. But Big Daddy to help you win matches, that gimmick's getting old. And I realize it's an old school gimmick, whatever. But even back in the old days, even back in the old school days when I first started watching, it was used, but it wasn't used ad nauseum at this point. It's being overdone. I feel like Nate is overbooked in these matches, and he should just not even be there. But I understand why she retained, and if she retained for the reasons I just outlined, I'm cool with it. Then we had the Hell in a Cell match. Wow. Okay. Oh, I realized I forgot to mention the AJ Styles Chris Jericho match just now. And the reason for that is, match was good, but nothing really noteworthy happened. So I didn't write it. I didn't write anything down to remember to talk about for that one. Jericho wins. Um, that evens them out at 2-2. I kind of thought, well, the match was okay. Um, we've seen it 4 times now, and it's starting to get a little stale. Um, Glad to see that from the stuff that I read about Raw, or a little bit of Raw that I did actually see once I realized that my DVR had fucked up. That Styles is moving on to a feud with Reigns, which is awesome for me because it gets him away from Jericho, and they don't do that into the ground. The match was good. It was standard fare, or what has become standard fare from Jericho and Styles, but a little bit overdone. So, yeah, there wasn't really anything that stuck out in that match, so I didn't write anything down. But back to our regularly scheduled programming. Hell in a Cell, Taker and Shane. Taker wins, of course, but Shane did things to Taker that I have never seen anybody do since Mick Foley. And I'm not just talking about the bump off of the cell. Although we'll get to that in a minute. If Shane chose to, I genuinely think he could be a full-time superstar. I don't think that he's going to choose to do that. But he could do it if he wants to. He's proven himself, and he proved himself even more at Mania. At 46, that he still got it. Hell, Taker's 51 for fuck's sakes. So all this thing about he's too old to do this, he's too old to do that. Fuck that. If he chose to, he could do it. And be believable. He brought fight to Taker like I haven't seen in a while. And every time you thought he was down, he came out of it. I thought his use of the MMA moves throughout the match was well done. I thought they were well placed. I thought it sold. The quickness in which an indie could come. I thought that the Undertaker did an excellent job of selling Shane's offense, and both of them, Shane and Taker, made the other guy look like $1,000,000, which is what you want. Which in this day and age, you don't get a lot of that. Usually, it's one guy trying to outdo the other. In this case, both guys were going out of their way to try to make each other look like $1,000,000, and they succeeded in spades. Now, that bump off the top of the cage. Holy shit. When he first, we started climbing this, when he first looked up there, I said to Becca, I said, he's not going to do what I think he's about to do. About 2 minutes later, she said, yeah, he is. Motherfucker climbs a cell, which is about 25 feet up, mind you. Jumps off, drops an elbow, Taker moves. Shatters the table. Taker and Shane are both just laying there. At this point, I thought, Jesus Christ, the match is over. Because Shane's not a trained wrestler. He hasn't been in the ring for 7 years. And anytime you're taking a bump from 25 feet up, there's a lot that can go wrong. So, I just kind of thought, okay, this match is over from here. But Shane got up, Taker carried him back in the cage, put him down. Shane just kept saying, bring more to me. Eventually, Shane hits a Van Terminator, and Taker kicked out of it. And at this point in the match, I thought, there was no way. After all the punishment, Shane is dished out, and they just ditched out on each other. There's no way. If a big move is hit, nobody's kicking out of it. Taker did. Eventually, Taker hits the tombstone, covers Shane, walks away, takes his gloves off, and I've heard rumblings that people are thinking backstage that might have had some significance to it. This might have indeed been the Undertaker's last Mania. I don't think it was, but you never know. But anyway, great match. Hats off to both guys. I thought it was awesome to see, Shane's three boys walking into the ring. And Taker wins, definitely. But it was just an awesome match. And hats off to both of those guys. Next we had the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. You had Tatanka, DDP, Baron Corbin as surprise entrants. And Shaq, of course, was a surprise entrant as well. I thought it was awesome to see the surprise entrance in that. I really would like to see some more of the Shaq Big Show dynamic play out. I think that it could be good, and I wouldn't mind seeing it, play out on a SummerSlam or next year's Mania maybe even, and then seeing DDP and Tatanka and those guys play in. But I was most most importantly for me, I was just glad to see that Baron Corbin got into the match and was on the show. I didn't expect him to win it, but lo and behold, he did. He won it. And people can say what they want about me. I don't give a shit. I was so proud of that kid, man. He busts his ass down in NXT to get better every week. Every time I've seen him on NXT TV, he's gotten better. He earned his spot. He earned his spot in the Rumble or in the Battle Royal. He earned the win. Glad to see him get it. And from what I hear, he is now a permanent fixture on the main roster, which, again, kid deserves it, man. He's just awesome. He does the silent but deadly, loner gimmick better than anybody I've seen do it in a while. He's just awesome. I wish I could have seen Raw, because I heard that Apollo Crews, Enzo, and Cass, and then I saw the SmackDown spoilers too that said the Vaudevillains also debuted, so on the SmackDown side of things. So, I'm very, very happy for those guys. All those guys are deserving of the spots that they're being given, and, the looks that they're being given. And it's up to them now to take advantage of the opportunity that they have and make the best of it. And I have faith in all 6 of those guys that they can. Just awesome for me to see. It's a source of pride for me. And if you think I'm bullshit, fuck you. Anyway, so that is the Battle Royal. Then, of course, next we had Rock come out, and he announced the attendance was 101,673. Which, that's a nice score in Dallas. New record. And the fact that Jerry World has a capacity of 105,000 for football, I don't doubt that the 101,763 was a legitimate number. Because I know that place holds football. So, so that's awesome to see. Great. Congratulations on the record. And then the Wyatt family come out, and again, next thing is X. Why? And I explained to her like this. It's just basically, it's Mania. They're trying to get everybody on the show that they can in some kind of way. So, the Wyatt family comes out, and, Bray cuts one of his epic promos. Awesome. And Rock says, fuck that, we're not gonna fight. We're gonna have a match. Give me a referee down here. He tears away the suit he was wearing to reveal he's got his gear on. And again, I fucking popped like a little girl. For a very, very short match, which this was, I thought the build up to it was awesome. Rock, of course, wins in 6 seconds, which is a new Mania record, supplanting the Bundy record from Wrestlemania 1 of 9 seconds. Rock did it in 6. Uh, just awesome to see, And I understand, why it was so short. Rock probably couldn't have done anything longer than what he did for insurance purposes, uh, because dude is a megastar right now. So I get it. It was awesome. I love it. You're not gonna talk me out of that. So if you try to when you see this, fuck you. um, and then of course Cena came out to kind of stand with The Rock and fend off the Wyatts after the match, and Cena hasn't been on TV for months. So, and there's an old adage: how can we miss you if you won't go away? For people to, pretty much boo him out of the building when he hasn't been around for months, was just beyond me. I get it. You pay your money, you can do what you want, but I just don't understand. He's been gone for months, and he's not going to be back in Ring Laws for another few months anyway. So just appreciate what it was, and live it up, man, because it's one of those moments um, you don't see very often. So live that up. Okay. All right. Next was the main event. Now, this didn't get off. This didn't come off until right around 11 o'clock. So this show ended up going way over, and I'll get into that in my closing thoughts in a second. So, but honestly, I thought Hunter's entrance was awesome. But the only thing I gotta ask is, what the fuck was Steph wearing? Um, you know, I said to Becca and Jen, I said, my God, she looked like somebody that we would see down on Vine and Over the Rhine trying to, turn tricks. Um, but I thought the entrance was awesome. Um, but the match itself was kind of and for the main event of a Mania, for the main event of your biggest show of the year to just kind of fall flat, was just not good at all. Now, understand, the fans are shitting all over Roman Reigns because he's being pushed down our throats. Now, I am not one of those who is against Roman Reigns. I like Roman Reigns. But just because I like Roman Reigns does not make me a Roman Reigns apologist either. I see the way things are. He needs to turn heel. He really does. But Vince won't turn him heel because, according to what I'm hearing, Vince sees him as the next Cena. Well, if you see him as the next Cena, get ready for a bunch of bad business deals and like bad business for the next couple of years. But you know, if I feel like if you turn him heel, you know, let him embrace that kind of like The Rock did back in the day. And then a couple of years, you reform the Shield, turn him face, and he's good to go. You're good to go. um, so you know, and of course, Reigns wins the title. Which is what we all knew that was kind of anticlimactic because we all kind of knew that was going to happen anyway. But you know, the show itself was pretty good. The main event fell flat. Out of I don't know what it was, a grand total if you count the pre-show matches, probably 14, 15 matches. One had I only say one really fell flat, but the one that fell flat was the main event. You know, but 14 out of 15, you know, good to great, weren't bad, and the 10 Diva match was fine. So, you know, fine to great. And fine to me is a level above or a level below good. And that's no disrespect to, you know, the women in the match that could actually work. So, you know, awesome. You know, I thought it was an awesome show. Altogether, it's one of the best Manias in a while. You know, I've seen some mainstream reviews of the show, and it kind of proves to me, you know, that mainstream media doesn't know shit about anything. You know, because they don't watch it, they don't follow it, they don't anything. They just, you know, they take care of what, they basically, you know, latch on to what's hot at the time, and then when they watch it, they don't have a real appreciation for it, and they don't understand what's good and what's bad, which is sad because it's just the way that it is, and it's probably never going to change. But you know, it was one of the better Manias in a while. And next year it's in Orlando, and we'll see how it goes, where the build goes. I kind of wish they would do old school and start building for next year's Mania now. But in this day and age, they very, very, very rarely ever do that. 13 out of 14, fine to great matches, or 14 out of 15, whichever it was. I'm going to give this show, even though I don't like great things, I'm going to go ahead and do it because I said I would. I'm going to go ahead and give the show an A-. And the minus is just because the main event was anticlimactic and fell so far flat. Now the show itself ended up being, it was slated for 4 hours. It ended up being more like 4:45, closer to 5 hours than 4. Which for me, I didn't mind because I love it. Um, so many surprises, so many, you got almost everybody on the show, and these guys work all year for this, so it's completely understandable. And because the most of the buys are coming from the network, um, for the most part, WWE doesn't have to worry about um, pay-per-view time blocks or time clearances from pay-per-view companies, and so it's really kind of awesome to see that it was supposed to be 4, but actually went like 4:45. But yeah, so it was awesome for me. This was uh, my Super Bowl, my Christmas, um, all rolled into one. This entire WrestleMania week. Um, and I thought it delivered for the most part. I really did. Like I said, the only thing I kind of felt meh about was the main event, which was kind of anticlimactic. But I think that can be fixed with a Roman Reigns heel turn. And from what I read in the SmackDown spoilers, without spoiling anything, they may be headed that way. Um, so that could be good. Good for him, good for business, good for everybody. And with that said, you guys, we have reached the end of my Mania 32 thoughts, review, takeaways, everything, and I had fun doing this for you guys. I'll do it again next year, of course, and damn it, we are under an hour, but I told you, I said, don't be surprised if this is at least 45 minutes. I was able to keep it under an hour, which I thought when I was watching the show, I thought it was going to be closer to 2. So the fact that I was able to keep it right at an hour or a little bit under is good for me. Starting to kind of fade out, so I'm going to end this, post this, and I will talk to y'all again later. I got some more stuff planned for this week because I'm off until Monday. I go back to work Monday, so I've got some more stuff planned for this week. So I will definitely see you guys later, and I love y'all. Thanks for sticking with me through this long haul of a video. Thanks for fostering the creativity, and thanks for always being there. I love y'all.